Well, hello, peoples. This is Sonic732, and welcome back to the episode of Random Creepypasta Stories. Now, today in Random Creepypasta Stories, we're going to be taking a look at, I guess, the not a well-known creepypasta that I randomly just found called The Man in the Blue Car. So, let's begin. Please, tell me what frightens you. Tell me why you are here, the therapist said. I opened my mouth and spoke. It was Saturday at the time, around 1 a.m. Me and my girlfriend were coming home from a party. Her name was Jade. She wanted to come home with me, if you catch my drift, for another party. A private one. On the way home, I saw a car parked on the side of the road. A blue car. It was rocking back and forth like someone was having sex in the car. It wasn't sex, though. Something red splattered up against the window and the hand smeared some of it. Jade was doing something else at the time. She was on her phone, texting her mother saying that she wasn't going to be home. I asked her if she saw anything, but she didn't. When we got back to my place, we had a great time. It was the best we had in a long time. The reason it was the best time in a while was because I popped the question. She was delighted and so was I. When we went outside to go tell her friends, I noticed a blue car with a handprint up the window. It was smeared and looked as if it was red. It scared me so much that I shivered as I hugged Jade. She asked me if something was up. I just said I had a bad feeling. She told me that everything would be fine. I could see in her eyes that something was wrong too. As we were driving up to my parents' house after telling her parents and our friends, she told me that one of her friends had been found dead in the blue car. I slammed the brakes on and told her that I saw it on the way home from the party. She was terrified. I could tell by the way her eyes teared up and how she gasped. We decided to go away for a few days. We went back to hers and got some clothes and then back to mine. I hurried up at mine as the car was parked closer to my house. As soon as I got my clothes and my laptop, I locked the door and we drove off. Everything was going fine on the journey to where we were going until I saw a blue car come up behind us. I leaped out of my own skin as I saw who was driving. It was a man wearing a bloody mask. It was in the shape of a pig's head, though it looked far too realistic to be fake. It looked real, except it had no eyes. I asked Jay to look in my glove box. I keep a Ruger P95 in there for safekeeping, in case of emergencies. She said it had a full magazine and there was 2 empty magazines and a box of ammunition there too. I asked her to load the magazines. It stopped after a while and we had a sense of relief. We came to a hotel after a while. I got us a room and we took our stuff to the room. I had a pistol down my trouser pocket. I had a small, thin book down there to cover the shape of a gun. I had the magazine in my hoodie. We went out for a meal and talked about what we were going to do. I said that I didn't know what we should do, but we should keep out of the way. After a while, we went back to the hotel and she went to sleep. I went to get some food and cover my car with a waterproof cover. When I came back to the room, I heard a noise coming from the room. It wasn't gentle, that's for sure. I slammed myself up against the door and took out my pistol. Something was wrong. I kicked the door and only to find a man hunched over Jade, tilting his head at the sight of me. I unloaded a few rounds, but he took off before I could hit him. After he jumped out the window, I ran to Jade. She was covered in blood, but she was breathing. Nothing was missing from her. She was only just cut and bruised badly. The words, "You're next," were carved into the wall. Jade could speak, only just. Her voice was soft as she was coughing blood. She looked as if she was beaten. I phoned an ambulance and the hotel manager asked me what happened. I had a hard time explaining, but he was sympathetic by the end and he said that he would get better security for the hotel. That's why he came to you, to get this off my chest. I feel terrible every day and I cannot trust anyone. She's in the hospital at the moment, but thankfully she will be alright. That's an interesting story. I hope that she'll be out of the hospital soon. But, he spoke. That's an interesting story. I hope that she'll be out of the hospital soon. But, he spoke. But what? I replied. The therapist pulled out a knife, flung into the air, and started to grin. You're next. Oh man, this creepypasta was so close to being good. I really thought this pasta had such good potential. Even though the build-up didn't seem that good, but there was some build-up to what that guy was, and he wasn't just like some cliche that he was some murderer who apparently absorbed the bullets when the guy shot him, but I don't know, I felt like this creepypasta had some really good depth into it, but the ending, man, the ending ruined this pasta so much. It's the biggest cliche that's ever been done in the history of horror stories. That, of course, the guy isn't the therapist, and guess what? The therapist just turns out to be the same killer. I don't know. This creepypasta was good. It had some good. I think the basis was good. That he saw a murder in a car. That the car was following him. He almost killed the girlfriend. But I did think that there was some good build up to this creepypasta. It's just that the ending that was so predictable when the therapist said, "But," It just seems so predictable, and I really think that this creepypasta fell flat on his face because of that. It seems so good. It really was good in my opinion. Just the ending was just that bad. But either way though, what do you guys think? What would you guys do to make this pasta better? And if so, does it involve removing the ending? Because I will highly agree with you guys on that. So guys, if you like what you see, like, comment, subscribe, do what you want. And I'll see you guys in the next episode. So, peace out peoples, and a brr.